Good morning, PV. How's everybody doing today?
How's everyone doing? This is Intentional Metamorphosis. My name is Elise.
And I am Robert McGee.
Whew, you guys haven't seen us for a moment. We've had a lot going on, huh?
100% a lot going on, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, so we decided to make a move. We're still here in PV. We love Puerto Vallarta. We're not leaving PV. But we did decide, after being here these last, 4 months, that we were going to stick with our original plan, which was to live on a lower level, but still where we enjoyed, right?
That is correct.
So we were at Puerto Vallarta, which was more of a owner's section at a resort. So we had everything. Rob wanted an elevator. We had
Did she say
elevator.
everything? You say everything?
We had everything.
Everything?
The pool, the beach, the restaurants, the gym, did I say the elevator? Because Rob wanted
The
an
bellman,
elevator.
the maid service,
Everything, just like we were living on a resort.
poolside bar.
Yeah, all the stuff that required tips from the bellman, tips from the just sitting down at the pool, tips, of course, at the restaurant.
So when we first started this, we called it intentional metamorphosis, correct?
Right.
Which means that you have to be intentional in the things that you do. We've heard many videos of people tell you the different stories about how they made it to a particular location and they started to live like they were on vacation, opposed to living as though they were in everyday life.
That was us.
We fell subject to that same exact thing. And I am here to tell you that it will 100% break your budget if you plan on living on vacation. Because living on vacation requires you have the vacation mentality. Let me go ahead and tip this person. Oh, they came in and cleaned my room. Let me tip for that. Oh, the guy came in and fixed the pipe underneath my sink. Let me tip him for that. Oh, the guy helped me pull the groceries out of my car. And let me tip for that. Oh, the taxi driver did an excellent job. Let me tip for that. Oh, the Uber driver got me to my location on time. And let me tip for that. And let me tip for this. And let me tip for that. And oh, I'm at the restaurant and the food was delicious and I'm giving extra tip for that. Tips that you wouldn't even give if you were in the States.
And we didn't have a tip budget line on our budget. So we were like, why is it that we're not meeting our budget? Now, we're still good. But it was like something's up that we keep not missing, hitting the target. And I'm like,
something.
So we didn't have a line for tipping. Lesson learned on that. Because we are somewhere that people are paid lower wages. So we do want to make sure to tip people. But with all of that said, and I'm going to put a piece of the video right here from when we came last year, November. Love it. TV. This is the master bedroom. And it has a door out too. That comes with the internet. Has the remote. I think I'm home. Here's the shower. The towels and I love the sinks. Now, what you will notice from that video is where we are living right now is where we came last year in November, and I said, oh, babe.
Oh, my God.
This is the place. This is it. And Rob stood outside of this door and was like, babe, this is the place.
And we came to this place 3 times.
Right.
3 times, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you right now, each time the place still stood out in our minds.
Yes.
And we could not get away from that.
Yeah, because it felt like home. It felt like home. And
Rule number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Rule number 2. When you go to a location and you see something that sticks out to you, jump on it. Because 9 times out of 10, you will revisit it more than once.
Right. Absolutely.
Rule number 3. Whenever you're looking for a place to stay, find a place that is close to the area that you plan on spending the most time.
Right.
So if you plan on being on the Malecon here in Puerto Vallarta, if you plan on being around a lot of different restaurants, various different stores, if you're an outgoing person, make sure that where you move to actually has those things accessible to you on hand. Because if not, you'll find yourself breaking your budget on an Uber or a taxi trying to get to those locations, opposed to being closer to those locations, which will allow you to walk to certain things.
Right.
I'm handicapped, so that presents its own issue in itself.
Right.
However, being handicapped is no excuse for deciding to choose a location that is farther away from the areas that you are going to wind up frequenting.
Right. Absolutely. So where we are in an area now that we're right in the middle of everything. We could walk into the romantic zone, walk in that way. We could go this way and be in the hotel zone. And so we are, which is where his favorite place is, Cafe Mas Leche.
Hallelujah.
He's so silly. But yeah, we are so grateful. It's funny how God allowed this opportunity to open up for us, because like we said, last year, November, when we came here, we were like, oh my gosh, this is the spot. And I got mad at him. I was like, but you said that was the spot. And he was like, I feel like it's the spot. It's just not the spot right now, because we weren't living here yet. But honestly, there's been one family that's lived here before us, and they were here in this unit. They did a short-term lease all of 4 months. So everything is still pretty new to us. And let me tell you about that thing right there over his head.
Oh my God, Becky.
Yes.
Look what they got. This air conditioning unit right here, these are called mini splits.
Mm-hmm. And we have them in each room. So the place we were in before had central air. I'm gonna say again, central air. Somebody likes to be really cool. Somebody likes to be just cool. But these right here, they're in each room. So with
Mini splits allows you
to
control the temperature in that particular location.
Right.
No matter where you are. We'll put that in the comment section right about in here or so.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep. So what we're working through doing at this point, of course, is we're gonna learn how to keep our electricity bill level, because that's the only thing that we do have different here is we do have electricity to pay. Did we mention that? At our other place, we didn't pay for anything but the rent.
Mm-hmm.
Should I say that again? We didn't pay for anything but the rent, meaning even that. But of course, it was resort living in the owner's condo. Right.
The owner's condo. Remember those words. Mm-hmm. Owner's condo.
So we were on a long-term lease there, which they allowed us to go ahead, and we all evenly came out.
All of your amenities, all of your electricity, all your bills, everything is included.
So we didn't have to pay for the electricity with the central air. So now what we're working through is like our bedrooms right now, the doors are closed and we don't have the air on in those rooms, not necessary. Windows are closed, blinds are down. This is where we're spending our time right now, is out here in our kitchen, living room area. So we just have the air blowing in here while we're spending some time in here together, right?
That's correct.
And when we leave, the stuff gets shut down, huh?
Yes, 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 yes,
Yes.
yes.
It
It
gets
it it
shut
it
down.
must be shut down.
Yeah.
Because what we're not going to do, what we're not going to do,
We're not going to have a large
we're not going to
electricity
have
bill.
a large electricity bill. No, no, no,
Yes.
no, 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 no.
We're
We're
going to
not.
work on that though. We're going to work on that because we're hoping we don't. Our very first electricity bill will help us to know how we need to gauge things. So we're being conscious of that. We're not keeping lights on all over the place or stuff like that. Our TVs running in rooms that we're not in. We're keeping things on in whatever room we're utilizing at that time.
Correct.
But yeah, some of the other things that we OMG. So listen, when it comes to getting mover help, go with either a referral from someone or look up an actual moving company. It's always good to have friends that have friends, but when you're in another country, you have to know how things work. And when real movers feel like they've been duped, then they will dupe the person that they were helping. You want to give a little more detail on that? Or is that good enough?
So we chose to go with someone that was recommended, and the individual went on ahead and got someone else to help alongside of him. As it turned out, the individual that he wound up getting to help is someone that we had already engaged before, and we had forgot that we were supposed to go on this trip with him. Never did contact him. However, this is the guy that wound up being the other individual to help, and he did it. I mean,
It's amazing. On
he
the front
did
end.
an amazing, outstanding job on the front end. However, on the back end, he did not show up.
He what?
He did not show up at all, period. Like, literally,
Oh, MT.
the first guy that we were recommended to was the one who wound up having to help us in the end. And let's just say that he was
He was a nice guy.
little bit.
Older than us. We'll
He
say
was
it
a
that
little
way.
bit older gentleman, and he was a very nice person.
Yes.
We'll just end it
We'll
at
end
that.
it at that. But one
Rule
thing,
number 5.
get a company that is a reputable referred to company, because what happens here is people start talking amongst themselves, and the gentleman hemmed us up in our kitchen area, and he was like, you remember me? You remember me at Walmart? Remember you said you were gonna call me to take you on this trip? He's like, I said only 230 pesos, right? 230 pesos. He was like, but you never called me. And we were like, but we never went. That's why we never, but big but small, you do run back into people.
So now, rule number 5 for me. Rule number 5 is do not, and I repeat, I'm going to repeat this, and I'm going to repeat this again. I'm going to repeat it one more time.
Okay.
Do not give your money to the people until the job is done. Finish, finito, however way you want to word it. Do not give the money until those individuals are finished, because those type of instances are times when you want to go ahead and say, you know what, I want a portion of my money back because you didn't perform the
Fulfill the
services to the best of your ability. You didn't fulfill the obligation. And at that moment, you don't have that ability anymore because you've already paid ahead of time.
Or maybe, like in the States, you pay a half of it up front as a security deposit, and then you say, when the job is done,
Correct.
I'll pay you the other half.
Correct.
But when you pay up front,
You pay the total amount up front.
the other person, once we got over here, no show. So this one with the cane and this one with asthma, we're helping the older gentleman bring stuff up. And oh God always has a ram in the bush because we met one of our neighbors
Jeff.
that lives right across from us. Yes. And
Thank
just
you, God,
jumped
to
in.
Jeff for helping us. Shout out to Jeff, wherever
Yep.
you may be. You were an angel for coming in at that time.
And I kept telling him, no, you don't have to help us. And he was like, oh,
Turned
no,
out he was from our area.
He had the same area code we had. We were exchanging numbers, and he said 832, and we were like, what? Talk about an angel in the bush.
Yeah.
So he had come from the Katy area. We used to live in Katy and then Cypress. So we got to talking, and what did he say you owe him? Nothing but a drink
And some
and
barbecue.
some of that barbecue. He said, when you barbecue, he was like, that's how you can pay me
Oh, yeah.
back. So
Oh, yeah.
that was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
One last thing before we close out that we will say is, oh my gosh, we learned we had accumulated some stuff. We got here in July,
Stuff.
but we went back to Houston in August with empty suitcases.
Stuff.
So we had brought more stuff when we came. Well, we didn't have 2 of those suitcases anymore because they had been demolished. So
But we
had
downsized from stuff before.
Yeah, but then we bought a desk for your computer,
Uh-huh.
a desk for my computer.
Uh-huh.
We have a water dispenser for
Uh-huh.
our water. But
Right.
then all the stuff that came in suitcases before was in grocery bags this time because we thought, oh, this is going to be easy. We're just going to throw this stuff
Sure.
in. Yeah, we're just going to throw this.
Oh.
Now, keep in mind, we had food in the
Mhm.
refrigerator. We
Right.
had food in the freezer.
Right.
Oh, we had food in the cabinet.
Huh?
Oh, we had bottles in the cabinet.
Hello, somebody.
So we had more stuff
Stuff.
that we had accumulated.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that we can say now is that we really have our own space now. We both have
Right.
agreed we feel at home in this space. So with that, whatever two maybe things that we end up accumulating, we'll be here for a while.
And let me say this to you. By no means am I saying that the stuff that we have accumulated since we've been here is a bad thing. But remember, being intentional is the epicenter of it all, right?
Yes.
So whatever you purchase, make sure that it's an intentional purpose, not something that is going to be thrown by the wayside, something that you're going to just be looking at and it's going to accumulate dust. Let it be purposeful in your life. The water cooler is something that we use on a continuous basis. It
Right.
produces hot water and cold water. My wife loves tea at night. This is something that works for us. It probably will work for you as well. We needed a dehumidifier
Yes.
because in Puerto Vallarta, if you
Humid
were
this
not
time of year.
aware of this, it is extremely humid.
Right.
It is extremely humid. If you've come from a place that you have not dealt with humidity, then you will be very surprised. Even if you came from Arizona, Arizona is dry heat. Houston, Texas is moist. So we are acclimated with the moisture and the heat.
Or from Ohio or Chicago, they have humidity as well.
Well, sometimes.
Yeah.
But again, if you're not acclimated to the humidity, this may be something that you might want to take into consideration when you come to Puerto Vallarta, because in
Just during this time of year, because
Right.
during the high season, it's not as humid.
low
anymore.
season is from,
I think around April.
well, really
April, May time frame.
April, May time frame. April, May time frame all the way to the November time frame is the low season. That's particularly the time where it's going to be humid, it's going to be moist outside, the heat is going to be a factor, you're going to deal with the rain on a continuous basis during that period of time. However, high season is the time frame in which you don't have to deal with any of those things, and they would say that it would be perfect weather here. So keep that in mind as well.
Yes, yes. Well, with all of that we've said, and trust me, there is so much more We will definitely be sharing with you all more. We now are finally settled in our place, right?
Correct.
We are settled. We are settled in our place. Now you may see us doing some traveling around, but as far as having our home base, we've hit our home base.
Soon, one of these videos, we're going to do a video on PTL. Very nice place. Very nice place to go shopping. So, and also, future videos, some shorts. You're probably going to see some videos of us showing the food that we actually eat in the places that we go as far as restaurants are concerned. Why? Because I kind of see myself as a food aficionado.
A food connoisseur.
So, with that being said, if you look for me on TripAdvisor or anything of that nature, you would see me as Rob the Food Critic. So, just putting that out there.
All right. Well, with that said, just keep in mind, everyone, everything, every day, what you always want to do when you start out is be intentional. Definitely be intentional about what you're doing. When you get sidetracked on your being intentional, you got to go back in the cocoon and start again so that you can be intentional.